Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nathan. If you're watching my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC 256, Figueiredo versus Moreno for the UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. And this is a post-fight rundown of the main card with my afterthoughts as always. Quick rundown, I went 3-1-1 on this card on my predictions, so not too savvy. Who could ever guess a draw? But anyhow, yeah, so to kick off the main card in the heavyweight division, we had Surreal Gain versus Junior Dos Santos, and I got this one right. Clear as night and day. This was a second round technical knockout TKO elbow. And Surreal, I knew, would just be able to stand and bang with Junior Dos Santos, knowing that he has an overhand right to look out for, and Junior Dos Santos is too predictable in the stand-up, and it's going to work in Surreal Gain's favor. And sure enough, it did, and he just hit him with the elbow, and Junior Dos Santos looked like he just couldn't deal with it anymore. But it was a fun fight nonetheless. Then in the middleweight division, we had Kevin Holland versus Ronaldo Souza, and this one got right as well. This was first round KO punches for Kevin Holland. Yeah, it was just awkward angle where the knockout happened. Very impressive win for Kevin Holland, who is now riding a 5-fight win streak in 2020, and he was, I believe, number 15 ranked in the middleweight division going to this fight. I can't wait to see more of him. It's going to be exciting, and it's crazy to think when I first met him, he was just kicking off his UFC career, and now look where he's at. And you know, just it's going to be fun and exciting roller coaster to see where his career goes from here. So good job, Kevin Holland. Then in the women's strawweight division, we had Mackenzie Dern versus Verna Jandiroba. Now Verna Jandiroba, I remember her from Invicta. She killed it, and yeah, she is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and also she is a former Invicta champion, and Mackenzie Dern is a stud in grappling as well in her own right. This was, you know, it could either go to the ground back and forth or stay stand-up. But yeah, Mackenzie Dern looked good, and this was decision unanimous, 29-28 across the board. I forget, it was either round 2 or 3 for Verna, which not only the judges but also I agreed with. And then I think it was round 2, but anyhow, there's one round where we all agreed on, and yeah, this was not exactly what I thought. I thought there would be maybe a submission for Mackenzie Dern at some point, but nonetheless, it was a good, clean win for Mackenzie Dern. She clearly won 2 of the 3 rounds, and I can't wait to see more of her. I still can't believe she's a strawweight. I keep thinking of her as a flyweight, but yeah, she's able to make this weight as a strawweight and keep going, and why not stop? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Then in the lightweight division, we had Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson in the co-main event. Yeah, this one I got wrong. Charles Oliveira just dominated, 30-26 across the board for Charles Oliveira, and Charles Oliveira looked like he was on a whole nother pedestal, and no one pointed this out to my knowledge on the post-fight press conference or asked Tony Ferguson, to my knowledge. I could be wrong about this, but what about him moving back up to welterweight? He was on the Ultimate Fighter season 13 as a welterweight. He won the season as a welterweight. Then he dropped down to lightweight, but that was what 9 years ago? What has it been now? So it's been a long time. So to sit here and say that, you know, he is still that young of a guy and able to make that weight and not get worn out. Maybe that's crying foul, and I think maybe the weight cut played a factor. I think possibly weight cut, and just get reacquainted with his wrestling background. I think he should spend some time, go to where Brock Lesnar lives, just wrestle, takedown defense, takedown defense, takedown defense, because he got taken down quite a bit by Charles Oliveira. I think Tony Ferguson can bounce back after a couple losses. I don't think he's quite done yet, but I think if he can reinvent himself as a welterweight and take his fighting experience and knowledge, I think he could be, at the very least, because he's not going to be a top 3 right now at lightweight. Obviously, he came in number 3 with this into this fight and lost. But I can see a scenario where he's at the very least a consistent top 5, top 6 welterweight. Possibly fight for a welterweight title, but I don't see him fighting for a lightweight title. Obviously, anytime soon. He would need 2, 3, 4 wins to get a lightweight title shot. One big win at welterweight in his welterweight comeback could be huge, and depending on who he fought there and how well he looked, could be a difference maker. But Charles Oliveira used grappling and took him down, and that's how he won this 30-26. So good job, Charles Oliveira. But Tony Ferguson, yeah, possibly welterweight and just get reacquainted with the wrestling, and just clear his mind. And I think he'll be as good as new again, or as good as can be. Then in the main event and for the UFC flyweight title, we had Veronica Figueiredo defending against Brandon Moreno, and on my pre-fight I predicted Brandon Moreno, and then there's the point deduction in this fight, which yeah, if Figueiredo did not get deducted that point, he would have won the decision. But yeah, I agree with the point deduction, and I see how 2 scenarios could either have come across this fight. Is either it went to a draw, which it did, or Brandon squeaked out the win. I had him winning rounds 2, 3, and 4, and then Figueiredo winning clearly round 5 and round 1 barely. And you could argue round 2, 3, or 2 or 4, or 2 and no, yeah, 2 and 4 if he won that round, or maybe he won round 3, but then he got deducted the point. It was 9-9 going into round 4. 9-9 score on round 3. So yeah, rematch, like Dana White said, do a rematch. It's going to be a good fight, and I think do immediate rematch. Brandon Moreno is young and hungry. I think if you wait too long, someone gets injured, someone loses a fight, whatever the case is. Look at John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. It took years for that rematch, and the rematch just wasn't the same. Alexander was in a whole another mindset. John Jones been through a lot, and I think while both these guys are still in that mindset of I want to defend the belt and I want to win the belt, get it while it's hot, and especially the fact that it was a draw. We got to have some sort of clarity on this. So yeah, it was a good fight, and I can't wait to see the rematch sometime next year. So there you have it. There's my thoughts on this, and stay tuned for my pre-fight versus for UFC Fight Night. Thompson versus Neal, Jeff Neal versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And until then, as always, see ya.